time for some hostile therapy.
All right, welcome to another episode of Hostile Therapy with me, Big Red, and right now we got me and LT Lord Trent at the helm. What's going on, man?
Peace, God.
How's your week been, man?
It's been a thorough, dope-ass week. Me and my nephew, we've been talking a lot. He got some really dope projects he's working on. I'm going to assist him with those. He's creating his own comic book universe. And as a nerd, that just makes me the utmost proudest I could possibly be.
His own universe, so it doesn't sound like this was like one project, one character. So he's creating a whole universe like Marvel, DC.
This motherfucker, I don't even want to, matter of fact, let me put some respect on his name. This magnificent motherfucker, he FaceTimed me. He was like, so Uncle Trent, I've been meaning to go over, what I've been working on. The long story, yes, he gave me an entire cinematic universe. He started it from, he literally had a big bang for the entire universe that he is creating, a one above all, so you speak, that everyone, gets their things from, like he already had storylines and backstories worked out. Right, so this is one of my favorite villains. You know what I'm saying? He's not the most powerful, but his backstory, you know what I'm saying, his origin story is where you really like, it's like he's got side characters worked out, and he's an amazing artist, so he's already got some of the sketches done. It was just really dope to see. It's really dope to see. I've never been more proud of someone else with my last name outside of maybe Thurgood, maybe.
All right, that's what's up. That does sound like good news. All right, shoot. Well, all right. Well, it seems like it's just us two now waiting. Any other participants coming in, but we're gonna go ahead and get to the first story. If they come in at the last minute, we'll get to them. So I don't know if you got to see the video that I'm about to put up here, but basically what this topic is about, and I don't even think there's a right or wrong answer, sort of. It just kind of depends on what your background is, how you were raised. So I can't really be mad at whatever people's opinion comes up with on this topic. So the question was asked. This is the dumbed down version of it. You ever seen the movie The Good Son?
The Good Son? No, I do not think I have.
Okay. It was recreated. I never seen the original one, but it was done again by Macaulay Culkin in his Home Alone heyday, right?
Oh my.
And shoot, I don't want to give it away.
Go ahead and spoil it. I'll tell you right now, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, but there's other people that maybe listening.
Mute the video, and when I give you a middle finger, that's when you come back.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. Okay, spoiler alert. I'll just say that. People, you might want to mute it for like the next couple minutes. So The Good Son is a play on the name Good Son. He's really a badass kid. It's almost like Home Alone. It's the same kid, except he never got punished, and he thought he could do these things. He did these criminals to every other adult.
Kevin dumbass, but Kevin, that's why they left his sadistic ass behind.
Yeah. So I think he's like 12 or something like that. Really evil. He's willing to kill people to get what he wants. He's very spoiled. He has his cousin come stay with him, and his cousin sees all the bad things he does. He kills animals and stuff. He's a bad kid. Macaulay Culkin is a bad kid. Skipping some of the story, the cousin is a good kid. Macaulay Culkin, the son, who the nephew goes and stays with, he's the good person. He's a good kid. They get to a point near the end of the movie where they're both hanging off of a cliff, and the mother is holding on to both of them. Now, the mother has figured out some things along the movie. She figured out that Macaulay Culkin killed, I think, a baby. Yeah, he killed one of their children. He killed the little brother because the little brother was taking attention away from him. So he killed him. She didn't know that until later on. Somehow she discovered it. I can't remember how. But Elijah Wood, that was the nephew. I forgot his name. But Elijah Wood was the nephew, the little cousin. gave her the information, I think, or somehow. But they're both hanging off the cliff, and she's hanging on for dear life for both of them. And it was like, who am I going to save? Am I going to save my blood, the person I pushed out of my womb, even though I know he killed my son now? Or am I going to save my cousin,
cartoon show?
nephew? Am I going to save my cousin, his cousin, my nephew? Am I going to save him? She's holding on, and eventually she lets go of the son. But I can't. I know a lot of people are like, well, he's a badass kid, but still, he's your son, though. I get that, but I also get he's a bad seed.
It's if Hitler's mom knew that he was going Hitler when he grew up, I would like to believe she might have, because that's what Thanos' mom tried to do when he was first born. She tried to stab that little purple baby, that little purple grabbly face baby. She should.
Was it just because she didn't have enough resources, though? I don't know. The people that live in Thanos' world, that they didn't have enough resources.
That's why he was killing people.
Oh, okay. This before. Okay.
Well, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in Marvel Comics, he's doing it to impress the physical embodiment of death.
Yeah.
Because he's a simp like that.
Yeah. So that's kind of the question. I'm gonna play the video. The video is kind of posing the same question, but it's dealing with same immediate family. Who, in a situation where there's a death that's imminent for, let's say, the mother and the daughter. Let's just say they're both drowning at sea, but you only got enough time to save one of them. Who are you going to save? That's kind of the question being put ahead. I'll save my answer. Let's watch the video first. We'll give our answers in a minute, but I don't know if there's a wrong answer. I can't persecute anybody for their answer, but we'll play the video first and see what the guy says.
Question. I've been married to my wife for 10 years, and she has a son by someone else that I helped raise. So basically my stepson. One day I asked her if I was drowning and her son was drowning, who would she save? And she told me her son. So then she asked me if she was drowning and her son was drowning, who would I save? And I say her. I would save her. She starts getting upset and tells me I should save her son, not her. I tell her I only love him because I love you. If we had a kid together and it was my blood, it would be different. I don't have that bond with your son that you have with him. I still love him, but you mean more to me. We are now in the middle of getting a divorce. So my question is, was I wrong for actually telling her how I feel, or should I have kept it to myself and told her what sounded nice? If you were me, what would you have told her?
So yeah, there's a little twist to that one. See, that one, it's not biological son, it's his stepson. And
so there is no twist. Honestly, what he said, it's fucked up to hear out loud. I will acknowledge that, but I get that. Like, again, you ask a woman if her husband and his daughter were drowning, which one would she try to save? I think she would go with her husband, especially if it's not her biological daughter or their biological kid. Like, I
hope this isn't the reason why they're divorcing, just because there's a little bit of a disagreement here, but I get what the man's saying. And this poses a deeper question when guys get in a relationship and they become the step parent, they don't have all the responsibility, they can't do everything that a regular parent does.
They don't have all the attachment to this child because they didn't create this child.
They can't discipline the child the same way a father can. There's a lot of step parents that, okay, you can tell the child what to do, but you can't discipline the child. You can't beat the child.
I've been in a stepfather situation.
You let me do that. If he gets in trouble, if he gets in trouble, you let me punish him. So the child eventually knows this, get to an older age, and they know their boundaries. They know how far they can get away with stuff. So they're not really a total father because there are boundaries of what they can actually do. And some parents, I've seen some step moms where they said they can't even leave their child home alone. Let's say they got a daughter, they're afraid to leave their daughter alone with the stepfather. I'm like, why would you even be with them if you can't even trust them? Well, what kind of relationship is that if you can't even trust them leaving home with a child? So on that remark, it's like, so why would you blame some fathers for not going all in to save your stepchild when you can't even let him be a full father in the first place?
I've been in the stepfather situation. The biological parent will always find a way to remind you that this is their child, not your child. Especially if you try to have some say so about them as a parent, you know, in their parenting style. They're very quick to let you know that. But that's just a personal tidbit. Yeah, I don't think anyone is wrong for not having an emotion as deep an emotional attachment that you would give your life away for a child. And I hate to use child because at the end of the day, you should be willing to sacrifice your life for any child. But he gave his honest answer. The reason that I love your child is because I love you. I wouldn't just love this child out of nowhere. Like the only reason that, just like if I created this child, well, no, I was about to say just like, unlike if I created this child with you, I love this child because this child is a piece of me. Now, as much as I could be a great stepfather or you could be a great stepmother, that child is not a piece of me. That child is not a part of me.
There's no DNA connection to it.
And honestly, honestly, his wife made a real emotional response too, because if they're arguing because that's his answer, she has to understand that's not his child. Like, because I save your child, but I don't save you. They're still without their mother and they're not biological father.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, and this is why honestly, I like after I ended that relationship where I was a stepfather, I made a pledge to myself, I cannot date a woman with children because I don't have children of my own yet.
And that's understandable though. And you know, that's the thing that a lot of women will get mad at men for, to say they don't want to date anybody with children, because you don't have full autonomy with how you raise the kids. You can't punish them the same way.
But I have they have full access to my wallet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs.
Yeah. And as soon as something goes bad, either one of them, the children or the mother, could say, well, you ain't their daddy anyway.
And who wants to get to that point with a child where they're, you know, going through their puberty, they're lashing out, they're upset. They're upset about things that literally they can't control, you can't control. And that up until this point, you as the step parent were just trying to make better. You were just trying to make do. But yeah, there's always that. You're not even my fucking dad. Okay. Okay, Brian.
Well, let's just say this. Let's say you do have an attachment to the kid. Now, if you do break up, the attachment is gone. If she moves away or goes away, you know, whatever, the attachment is gone because she doesn't want to talk to you anymore. And so she's not going to allow you to be, she's going to date and go with other guys or marry or whatever. And then the relationship is over and you have to live with the fact that you can't be around the kid anymore.
Which is real tricky because now that like this couple in particular, they're getting a divorce. Do you still tell your son that this man that you've been married to for probably as long as your son's been alive, do you tell them that this man is no longer his father? Because I guarantee you, now that we're broken up, we're divorced, and we're divorced because of pretty much revolving around how I feel about being a stepfather. I don't have to be that anymore. So now a deeper conversation has to be had between this mother and this son about where her child or where his father actually is, who his father actually is. Because then, and no one wants to do that, because then you have to start talking about your bad choices. Because great that you found a guy that was, you know, and that literally loved you enough to love your child as well. What's up, Breezy? But yeah, literally loved you enough to love your child as well. Go ahead. You chime in.
Breezy, did you get to see the video before I can replay it?
No, I'm dead. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll play the video for you right quick. This video is based on the question. We're going to come up with a couple questions from it, but it's based on the question: if you're in a relationship with a husband and his daughter, his biological daughter. You're the step parent, and they're in a situation where, let's just say, they're in the ocean, they're drowning, and you only can save one. Who would you save? But I'll let you answer. Let me play the video right quick, and then I'm gonna let you give your answer and how you would go about the situation. Let me come back. Let me find the video again right quick. Here we go.
I've been married to my wife for 10 years, and she has a son by someone else that I helped raise. So basically my stepson. One day I asked her if I was drowning and her son was drowning, who would she save? And she told me her son. So then she asked me if she was drowning and her son was drowning, who would I save? And I say her. I would save her. She starts getting upset and tells me I should save her son, not her. I tell her I only love him because I love you. If we had a kid together and it was my blood, it would be different. I don't have that bond with your son that you have with him. I still love him, but you mean more to me. We are now in the middle of getting a divorce. So my question is, was I wrong for actually telling her how I feel, or should I have kept it to myself and told her what sounded nice? If you were me, what would you have told her?
Okay, so what would you have done in that situation? If you're placed in a situation where your stepdaughter and your husband are drowning at sea and you only have an opportunity to save one, who would you save? And it's no wrong answer. I don't think there's a wrong answer to it. I don't think there is. So.
Damn, first, can I save myself? Shit.
No, you good. You say you good. Can you swim, by the way?
No. That's
Oh, damn.
Damn, they in trouble.
Damn. How about throw a raft? Throw a boat and a lifesaver or something like that.
Maybe I would scream out, what should I do? What you want me to do? I would do like, baby, what you want me to do? What should I? And if he says, save her. I guess I gotta
What else, Bart?
rise by his wishes. I don't know. Maybe we could do a chain. Like, I'll grab you.
No, we only can save one. That's the situation.
I'll just
We only can save one.
I don't know why they're getting a divorce, honey. They was on the makings of getting a divorce.
I hope that's
that was
not
just the icing on the cake. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody getting a divorce over something like that. So they was already messed up. No, that's a deep question. She's my stepdaughter. He's my husband. The Lord said to stand by your man. This is tough. It's a child. How old is
No wrong answer.
No wrong answer, right?
I don't think so. It's all about your background and how you were raised, I think, but I don't think there's a wrong answer.
I don't know. I guess But what if I save him and then he said, damn it, why didn't you save her? Now we in trouble.
That's a good way to look at it, though.
Why
Because
didn't you?
now he's going to really hate you for that, right?
I think I would scream out, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to ask?
He can't. He got water in his mouth.
Okay. Damn, Big Red. This is a deep one.
Now, this is just a stepchildren. See, I ain't even got to where if it's a biological child and your husband.
I gotta save my husband.
Yeah.
I could call the child's mother. Your child's out there in the water. Come on and get him. I don't know.
It's tough. I know.
That's tough, man, because it's human life. I don't care who they are. I'm not in the water, right?
No. Let's say you're on a boat. Let's say you're on a boat and you can throw a raft out to save one. But it's some tough waters. You only got time to save one.
I think I would yell to him and ask him, what do you want?
You gonna yell at him. He's drowning.
He gotta say, you drowning, but you gotta be able to say something. Maybe he could point. What if he point? If he points to her, you know, and I said it, honey. Her.
You've never swam before, have you? You can't do this while you're swimming. Maybe you can. I don't know. I've never done that.
Big Red, this tough.
What happened? Everybody letting who drowned them? Because I can swim, honestly, but yeah.
Well, we know that we're gonna get that later.
You put me on the spot.
Don't give it away,
I
Auntie.
don't know. Can I take the fifth on it? I don't know. That's
Well, while you taking the fifth, they gonna be taking a dip. You gotta
If it's
get.
not my biological child, I'm sorry, but you're gonna.
it's a child, though. I mean,
It is a child. It is a
how old
child.
is so he's 50 something? Because I'm.
Let's say the child is 8. We'll say that.
Oh, she didn't even live her life. I don't.
That's a reason. That's a reason. I mean, you can give that. I ain't mad at it.
So again, like the child is important, but the reason
Oh,
he's
God.
saying he's not going to save the child is because this is not. And yeah, we could just say, well, you should just save the children, but
Oh,
you're asking me to choose between who I'm like. She chose the person that she was emotionally bonded to with the most. She said, "I'm gonna save my son, even though I love you. I love you a lot. I
that's
took your
her
last name."
son. That's her son. That's her
And I
biological
totally get
son.
that. That's why he had the response that he had. I would save you
What if she
because
can never? What if she can't have no more kids? You know what I
that's
mean?
not,
You can always
that's
get a husband.
that's adding a hypothetical to the hypothetical.
That's what
that
it's
we
called.
already-
need help. I need help here. I need help. It's a
You know what
bad.
I'm saying? Like,
This
because
is a
that
tough question.
again, that's I get it. That's her
If I'd have known
son.
you was gonna ask me a question like that, I would have had a drink to the side. This is tough.
It's tough,
Really?
but like he made it real simple. It's like, well,
Love
if it was
kids,
our
but
child, biologically, if it was my son, yeah, I'm gonna save my child first. Like I'm gonna pick our child.
yeah, but what if he says, "Oh, why didn't you save her? Why didn't you save her?" That's I
They're
don't.
both gonna say, no matter who
Hey,
you
this is
save, they're
tough.
both
This
gonna
is a
say
tough
why you
one. I don't
didn't
even think
save.
I can answer. I don't.
Yeah.
You save the child, he's gonna be like, why you didn't save my mom? You save the mom, she's gonna
Well,
be
no,
like, why
I'm
you didn't save my
definitely saying
son?
I would definitely ain't no question about the mother now. But
Let me hold on. Let me let Sparky T get right. Did you?
yeah,
I
go ahead, Sparky.
don't know. You got to see the video or not, Sparky. Do you know the full question?
I think y'all asking who we gonna save, the child or the husband, but I didn't see the video, so I just want to make sure
Well,
I understand everything.
It's your
well,
stepchild.
the video in this particular instance, we'll get to biological children in a minute, but in this video, it was asking. The guy was asking his wife. Well, the wife was asking if they were in a situation where they were both drowning, the wife and the daughter.
Mhm.
He was asking the husband who would he save, and who would she save if the same situation happened to her. She said she would save the daughter, and he said he would save her, the wife. She was mad at him for going after her, the wife, instead of the daughter, and he said pretty much, well, she's not my biological child. I don't have a strong bond with her like I had with you, my wife. And said later in the video that they got a divorce. I don't know if the divorce was based off of this or some other stuff, or this was the cherry on the top. But the husband pretty much said, I'll save the wife. The wife said, I'll save my daughter. She's mad that he won't save her daughter. He said, I don't have a bond with your daughter like I got with you, my wife. And that's his stepdaughter. So,
That's bad.
question: what would you do in that situation if you were put in that situation? You know, your husband. You ask your husband, who would you save if you're in a situation where you're drowning and your daughter is drowning? Who would you want him to save?
Okay. So for me, if it's who am I saving?
No,
I'm saving
well,
the little girl.
yeah. And you can answer
And
that first. And
and
then the husband.
okay, so if it's who I'm saving the little girl, whether she's my biological child or my stepchild. I'm saving
Okay.
the little girl. Um,
Okay.
Either way, that's what I'm saving. And for him, I would expect him to save the child, whether it's a biological child or a stepchild. I would expect him to save the child. That's how I would feel. That's how I feel about it. Like I ain't speaking of hypotheticals. That's how I feel.
Right.
We on a boat and I'm about to drown, or my kid about to drown. You better save my kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like I've lived my life. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a stepchild and all of that, you know, if you're married to me and my kids are a package deal. So I don't even
Right.
really get deep into that step stuff and all that. The kids are my kids or whatever. And I've had stepchildren. I've been married twice and I'm happily divorced twice. But my kids from those marriages still call me. Like if they need something right now to today, they still call me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been divorced from my first husband, shit, 15 years. 15 years. But if his daughter needs something, she calling me right to today. Because that's my baby. It's not about my stepdaughter or none of that. So if I had to save him or her, I'm saving the kids. Now, am I gonna get mad at him because he don't say he gonna save, the kids? He gonna save me? No, not necessarily. I mean, that's how you feel. But it would be something that I feel like we would need to talk about beforehand. Because I'm gonna be, because I'm gonna be like, well, look, I know you was gonna save me. You love me, this and this and that. But let me tell you why I want you to save the kids. Like it's something to me that you should kind of talk about. I mean, I know it's hypothetical. People don't really talk about things like this, but sometimes you should, so that you can understand, where the other person's importance lie. I say save the kids, whether they're my stepkids or my biological kids, because if God put me in their life, He made me a steward over their life. God didn't say, "Oh, these will go be your stepkids. These gonna be your biological kids. Treat them different." He didn't do that. So I'm gonna treat them all the same. You know what I'm saying? The kids haven't had a chance to live their life yet.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give them an opportunity to go on. Me and my spouse, we've lived for umpteen years longer than them. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, even in sitting here listening to y'all talk about it, I had to really formulate my opinion because at first, when I was thinking about it logistically, I'm like, well, shoot, I'm gonna save my husband first, and then we gonna save the kids. Because two adults, you know what I'm saying, can possibly save all the kids. So we can get us all out if it's us two adults working at saving the child. That was my first thing. But if I only gotta save one, I'm saving the kids.
Yeah.
He'll be all right. He ain't gonna perish. Gotta take care of him on the other side.
I feel you. My thing would if I were to save anybody, it would probably be the kid for a couple of reasons you said. One, because they haven't lived their life. If I'm 40, 50, 60, whatever, I can't say I've lived a full life, but much longer than theirs.
Save the child.
Even if they were stepchildren, I think probably whoever I'm with, I would probably feel guilty to save her and the child end up dying. Because I think we kind of spoke on that a little bit earlier. She's probably going to resent you for life for doing that. If she knew you had the chance to save the child over her, she's probably going to resent you, and y'all probably ain't going to be together anyway. I think I would be mad, but I guess it also kind of depends on the relationship you have with the kid too, because Sparky sounds like you have a very good relationship, with the stepchildren or whatever, but there's some other ones that never quite form a bond. The stepchildren hate the step parents, and the same going to the step kids. That can probably play a part in some of it. I mean, still, you shouldn't hold grudges when it comes to life or death or whatever, but I can understand how that can work versus the person who really love your wife versus the person you may hate is a step kid. I can see how that may play a part when you got to make a split-second decision on who to save. I can understand that. Again, I don't think there's a wrong answer to it. I can understand, based on your background, how you're raised, and how you like either the wife or the kid. I can understand either way you could go with this. Stepchildren now, going to where they're your biological kids and your wife, that's where it gets really hard. And it's almost kind of the same answer a little bit for me because kid, like I said, hasn't lived a full life. And I would imagine the wife, based on her love for the kid, would want me to save the child. So I would probably save the child based off of that. And because she just, I don't know, looks more helpless in the water than the adult wife. So
what if your child could swim and your wife can't though? You know what I'm saying? Your kid could not look as helpless. They might be able to swim or whatever. I mean, even with my stepkids, I don't have the same relationship with all of them.
Yeah.
Like in one of my situations, my ex-husband had a set of triplets that were adopted. I'm saying, well, they had, there were some things going on and different things. So even with them three, I don't have the same relationship with the three of them. But any of the three of them could still call me right to today and ask me for whatever. If I had it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out my way to do it, regardless. But I did foster care. I have a lot of kids that are attached to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say the babies. But even if one of my foster kids was to call me, like all my foster kids grown. My youngest biological kid is 19. You know what I'm saying? But if any of them call me, my foster kids are like 30 now. If they call me right to today and I got it, I'm doing it for them because they still call me mom, still their mother. So I don't. I'm always saving the kids though.
I seen one person's answer say, okay, let's say if she has like 3 or 4 kids, the mother, right? And you let her drown, then there's 4 kids without a mother. So that could be a component to why you would save the mother over the kid. And then she could make another kid. I know it's as heartless as it sounds, but it's like, well, you can just make another child. But if you kill the mother, not kill the mother, let her drown, you're taking away a mother to 4 kids versus if one kid drowns, you take away one child away from the family.
What if she can't have no more kids?
I mean, that's a component too. You can add to it.
But I mean, I don't know. You could
she not have any more kids because of the trauma, or could she have never had kids? Because at a certain point, was she gonna? That's the thing we don't think. Like, how did this child outside of their relationship come to be? Is this a child that she already had, or is this a child that she conceived while they were together? Because though we base these things off of our feelings, there's a lot of ugly feelings that we don't like to admit that could go into this. That he said, I only love your child because I love you. And then he asked at the end, should I have said what she wanted me to say? Or should I have been honest? Because even though it's a dark thought, he was being honest about how.
Why you only love the child because I love you? What's going on? You should.
Because how do you love the child first before you love her? Like, how do you?
You could bond with somebody's child.
You can bond with their child, but obviously the strongest bond that you have is with the person, is with the parent. Like, just like she chose to save her child because that's who she has the strongest bond with.
You have some people that break up, like Sparky T said, you break up with them and the children love you to death. They don't care that y'all separated. They love you. She's built that bond. Sparky T has built that bond with those kids where I don't care if daddy and mommy are not together, but I still love her. So she has built that strong bond with them. So that could happen. That's because
that is an aspect of maternity.
That's your stepchild. It could be your foster child. My mother had foster kids and they loved her to death. Even when their own mothers got themselves together, they still came and saw my mother every holiday, everything. So what if you build a bond? Obviously, he didn't have a bond with the child because he's saying, well, I only love the child because I love you. Well,
that's an issue too, though.
Yeah.
That's the issue right there. Yeah, what the hell you mean you don't love my kid?
Right.
He doesn't love the child. He said, I love them because I love you. Like, if, like...
That's conditional.
Yeah, but when you put the only in front of it, it's like, well, I only love the child because I love you. And I don't get me wrong, I understand it. That makes sense because if I didn't love you, I wouldn't really know this child and I wouldn't have any bond with this child. But the love for the child should, to me, transcend. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm not with my exes like that. I still love them.
As women, as because y'all maternal instinct is like paternity. Just for men, it's not set up like that. Especially when the child is not ours. We don't have those. Like we just don't. We attach ourselves to children. Yes, we can bond with the child. Yes, we can mentor the child. Yes, we can be the father figure that the child needs. But I don't think.
You got kids?
None.
Okay, I just asked.
But yeah, men don't do. I've been a stepfather before in this exact situation, or not in this exact situation where someone is drowning. I was a stepfather for about 4 years, and at every chance, this woman reminded me, especially like I was telling Big Red before y'all got on. At every chance, this woman found a way to remind me that she is the child. And I guarantee you, when they were having this conversation, and he said, "Well, I would choose to save you," she probably phrased it to him. So why wouldn't you save my child? There's more possession for this woman over her child than him. This is not his biological. Like I totally get it. You should just always want to save the children. You should always have a deeper bond. But people don't care about the relationships that men have with children. After me and that woman broke up, I tried to maintain being a father figure to that little boy because I bonded with him. He was a water sign too. Like I love that little boy. He called me dad because I was the only father he ever knew. Like I wasn't in the relationship with her when she conceived this child, or even knew her when she conceived the child. But I met her when this boy was just turning 1 year old, and I was in his life till he was about 5. And even though I was saddled with the responsibility of being everything that a father figure is supposed to be, which I loved. I asked for nothing in return. Now, honestly, the best thing I could get was him running up to me and hugging me in the waist after a long ass day of work so that I could probably, I don't know, take him out and do some fun shit with him because his mom she's kind of just bleeding me dry due to her own personal demons and whatever the forth and all that shit there. But even after that relationship, I tried to reach out to the grandmother who was in custody of the child because, just long story short, she ended up losing custody of the children that she would have. So just all around, she was a poor mother, just to put it like that. She came from a poor mother who had a poor cycles of shit. I tried to reach out to the grandmother on the father's side, on the biological father's side, so that I could still maintain a relationship with that child. Long story short, that lady just never got back to me. Because she didn't care, like, because, you know, the child that is biologically related to us is back to us. Even though you were in this child's life for this amount of years, you were great to them. I remember coming down and you had their birthday party set up like this. They didn't give a fuck about any of that. Even though her son had not been in this boy's life. I was literally not the biological father trying to be in this boy's life still, because after the relationship, I felt lonely. You know what I'm saying? And the happiest part of that relationship was being a dad for me, because I kind of hated the woman that I was with. The only thing that made it worth it was how sweet and thoughtful and creative and amazing her son was. That's what kept me there so damn long, because every time I would walk out or try to walk out, she would have me at the door. Look, son, another man walking out of our life.
Let me add to that. I think it is harder also for guys, because we're not the nurturers, not like women are. It's harder for a guy to develop a bond with a child that's not his. I think that's what it kind of boils down to. You can do it, but you have more, just because we're not major nurturers like women are. And then if you break up in a relationship with a woman and she moves on to somebody else or whatever like that, and usually if she moves on, she's probably not going to allow you to see the child the same way, which if he does bond with the child, it's going to hurt him a lot more to stay away from that child. And he's going to get a black heart and not going to want to be around that child because of that situation. I think it's harder for guys to want to form a bond with a child because there are so many things in the way to have a bond with a child. Like I said, we discipline children most of the time a lot different than women do. And women are not going to want us to discipline their children, their biological children, the way we want to, because they're not ours. That's what we were speaking on earlier. If it's not your child, a lot of times women are going to tell you, you're not going to touch my child like that. And like I said, some women are going to be like, I'm not even going to leave my child at home with you alone, especially if it's a girl or whatever like that, because I don't trust you. I don't know why you would marry somebody like that. But there are a lot of boundaries in the way, on top of guys not being the biggest nurturers in the world, to where guys don't form a bond, to where it gets to a situation where if a child was to drown, they're going to pick the wife first. I'm not saying it's right, but this is how most guys, I think, are built that way. I think women can naturally form better bonds with children that are not theirs, just because that's their nature. Not all men are built that way, but I'll say the majority of men are not built that way. Not to say they can't do it, but it's harder for a guy to form a bond with a child that's not naturally theirs. That's why I kind of think the answer may be a little different from guys that are the girls. And that's why I say I don't think there's a wrong answer. This is kind of like what your background is and what your makeup is. I can understand each one of you answers. I don't think nobody's wrong. This kind of depends on who you are. But it's a whole lot different, though, when it is your biological child. I still think I would go for the children first. You know, if it's my wife and daughter drowning, I think I would go for the children first, because I think that's also what she would want. Mm-hmm. Man, y'all got something else to add to it? I know y'all got something else to it.
That's deep.
I just think
I don't think I heard your answer. What'd you say if it was? I don't know. He's talking right quick.
What's up?
I'm not sure if I heard you answer if it was your, maybe you did, if it was your son and your
No,
wife,
that was my stepson.
your biological. Now I'm saying if it's your biological son in this
Oh
case.
yeah, if it's my biological son, I'm saving my child because one, I assume my adult partner knows how to swim. Like I know how to swim. So in that, and honestly, it's so funny because me and my girlfriend had this conversation last week, or not, no, at the beginning of the week about a fire in the house. If our house caught on fire and I was here and the kids were here, we both said the kids because we're both cognitive adults and we can get ourselves out of trouble. So we both said kids, and it was easy to come to that conclusion because we both had the shared thought of these are our children. These are our children. For women, it's a lot easier for them to see any child is their child. Again, that's the divine feminine maternal instinct. The male does not do that. The divine masculine paternal instinct does not have them see every child as their child. That's just not how we're set up. We are different creatures. That's how it goes. Like this, I understand looking at, or I'll never understand looking at things from the perspective of a mother or a stepmother. This is someone looking at things from the perspective of a stepfather, someone that probably never felt like a full-fledged father because this was not his biological child. And I get that. I understand that. And yeah, whereas you should just always have a deep bond with the child, no matter what. He gave his honest answer, what was real and honest to him.
I'm gonna speak on something we were talking about last week, and the video where, even though it probably doesn't match up right, but with a lady with the hoax, the brick hoax, and she was saying, women are the natural protectors of everyone, which I don't agree all the way, but she also said men only protect what things that they possess. I said I kind of agree with that, and this is kind of a point too. I mean, if we don't feel like we possess or we are part of, the people we're around, like say the stepchild, we naturally are not going to go and protect them, and I think women, because they are natural nurturers and they want to help everybody, which is nothing wrong with that. We're just built differently when it comes to that. I think that's why our answers are a little bit different on who we will save. We would save our biological children, but our stepchildren, we would be a little hesitant. Depending on the situation, we'll probably go for the wife first. And Sparky T, she's talking about she would save, her stepchildren, adopted children, all that. I understand that. And that's why I kind of feel like what she said last week when we were talking about, it does hold some truth to it. I think we are different about how we protect and save people, men and women, that is.
I'll be honest, because the male is the animus, the masculine, the left side of the brain. That is the logic forming side of the brain. And it sounds cold and calculated, but the logic in a man's mind is, I'm going to save who I need the most. Like you can go back with ancient cultures with this. Even Spartans would throw sickly looking babies off of their cliffs. That is not okay to do. Do not throw any babies off of cliffs. But the male left side of the brain would say, well, I'm probably, especially if this child is not biologically mine, I'm going to save my wife because, yeah, like we said, I can make another child. And some men are so cold, calculated, and logical. I want to see if what I've been teaching my son, like they're in ancient culture, some men would literally watch to see if their son could swim. And if he couldn't, he was weak to me anyway. He could not inherit this throne.
Yeah, that's kind of deep there. You sound like the 300 Spartans when they were throwing babies off of the cliffs because they didn't.
They did, like the Spartan culture. They did not give a fuck because they're a war culture. They breed warriors. All we do is go to war. Like we just love that shit. We worship Ares, the god of war. That's our whole flow. It's our whole shit. So if the baby, literally upon coming out of its mother's womb, if the baby looked weak, had any physical ailments, looked to be sickly, even gave a little fucking cough, they would throw it into a chasm.
Yeah, we are the natural
like
nurturers.
Dogs.
Yeah.
That's why dogs kill. They kill. That sounds like that. It's kind of like dogs. You know how they kill the one that's the weak.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest, Darwinism.
Yeah. Because they they're gonna eat the dogs of the week, the ones that are crying, doing all that. You come back, that little joker be gone. Like, damn, ain't
And
no
that's why
bones. Where
we
the dog
need
go?
women. That's why we need the right side of the brain. That's the compassion. That's the wait, before you kill this child, I could love it and nurture it back to strength and shit. And that's what happened in some men. Some children were born weakly and sickly. And because of a mother's love, because of Hera popping her teat onto baby Hercules, he's now imbued with godlike strength. She hated that motherfucker. Actually, though, she sent snakes to kill him at one point, at literally as soon as his mother gave birth, because that wasn't her son.
Oh
that
yeah,
was her stepson.
mistress mess
That
with
was her
Zeus.
stepson. She tried to murk that nigga off. She only nursed him back to health because she was tricked by the goddess of wisdom, Hera.
This,
That
this
wisdom came
relates,
in handy, huh?
this relates to real life.
She tried to kill him. Like she ain't even let him drown. She sent snakes. Like you've seen the little statue of the fat baby Heracles holding two snakes and shit,
Yeah.
strangling them motherfuckers out.
I saw that off the movie Hercules, 1980, with Lou Ferrigno.
Oh wow.
It was a
Back.
horrible movie.
With
by the
the
way.
Hulk?
Yeah, it was a horrible movie. I loved it as a kid, but it's horrible as an adult. Horrible.
You ever seen the Hulk meets Thor from the 70s?
Oh, yeah.
That shit was ass.
Oh, that was the 90s.
Oh my god, it's even more ass.
That was a made for TV NBC movie. I know because I used to have the VCR.
They shouldn't have made that shit for nobody. That shit was trash. Just like that, the Flash, the current Flash too. But I digress.
So Preezy, let me go back to you right quick. This being your biological husband and biological son. You might have already answered. Let me just get your answer again.
Boy, Jesus.
In that situation, you only can save one. It's pertinent you hurry up and make a decision. You're saving the husband or the 8-year-old son.
My son.
Save your son. You're saving the future. It sounds like what you're saying.
My son. Yeah. I have to just tell my husband, I guess I see you next lifetime.
Wow. As he's drowning, he's like, Erica Badu, I hate you.
You better call Tyrone.
The child. I'm sorry, the child.
That's who they're gonna. That's what she's gonna call and have another kid with.
Tyrone. It finally happened.
Listen, that's tough. Gosh. And I know it had to be situations like that before in life. Things have to happen like that.
Tyrone, you can come raise your child now.
You
Boom.
have to make a decision like that. Oh, you got to make a decision. Yeah, I know.
See, it might be a little different. Well, it's probably even a harder decision. If it was your
harder.
mother,
That's harder.
I was gonna say if it was your mother and your child.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mom.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I know.
Is she messing?
Damn, the baby gotta go because now you'll probably save your mom, and your mom and her ultimate maternal instinct will say, "Now why didn't you say that, baby?"
You said between my mom and my kids?
Yeah. I'm picking the kid.
You can work
picking my kids. I'm
Your
picking
mama
my
gonna be
kids.
mad at you if
I
you say
love
her
my
over
mama
your
to
kid.
death, but I'm not picking you over my kids. You can swim, you know what I'm saying? And you done live more of your life than me. You done live 3/4 of your life.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? 3/4 of a full life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
call
No,
out like that.
I'm not picking. Yeah, I'm picking the kids.
Yeah, and what y'all saying? If she came from the grave and was hunting you behind in your bed, she would say, "Why did you save me? I was around where there was
Right.
nothing but black and white TV, where you had to sit still in a picture for 30 seconds to take a good picture. Why would you save me over the kid?"
Old ass slave mom. What the fuck?
Well, that's what you would hurt. Some mamas would be like, "You better have saved me." Now, I can see
think that's
some moms being like, "What? You gonna let me drown?" You know, which I don't think that that's the right thing. But I can still see some people saying that. I think about how people deal with their kids. There's some people that's so damn selfish with their kids. If you selfish with your kid, just in the general, you don't care about your kids, saving your grandkids first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know my mother would want all of her grandchildren saved, and all of them are teenagers. I've seen all of them swim. I know that she can't. She would still prefer I try to save my niece.
All right. Seems like y'all are saving the kids. God save the kids.
Wu-Tang save the children.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I don't think there's a wrong answer. It just kind of depends on your background. I just think women would more so with this question would save the kids because naturally they're going to see a sad face with those kids. They think they're the future. The husband be damned. You can get another husband. That's another factor you can add to it too. You can get another husband and he don't have to be biological to get a husband because that's not how that works. But you can't get another biological child with that same DNA. You can get another wife, but you can't get another biological daughter with that same DNA, biological son with that same DNA that to carry on the name and so forth.
Carry on your DNA.
Carry on your traits.
It's also a part of your DNA.
Yeah. But your wife or husband does not have any of your DNA. So they're not carrying on anything but the name. If they keep the name, they can change the name once they get remarried. The women, that is. So. Probably the children more likely goes with this answer, but I've heard people say the wife. And as Preezy had said earlier, some people go off of religious things, like you go with the wife, then the kids. That's another thing people have talked about.
They say what?
Some people go off religious things where they say it's the husband, the wife, and the kids, and how they are served. That's actually another question I was going to get to too. To be in a less morbid situation with this, we're going to get less morbid. Here's the other question. More simple. If you have to come home, the husband come home from a hard day's work, and he's tired and hungry, kids just got out of school, they're ready to eat, who do you serve first when it comes to food?
Man.
They both came home at the same time, you said?
Yeah, they both come home at 5 o'clock.
The kids been here by themselves. Who watching the kids?
Now this got out of school.
Or one of them, you can see this is already a baby situation. You
Could be
said
latchkey kids.
this is a baby situation you setting up.
Came home from, well,
Shoot, I was home by myself when I was
Now we gonna
9 and 10.
talk
and
The
whatever.
latchkey situation.
Yeah, shoot, I was home by myself in single digits. All I had to do was get on the bus and get home. So it wasn't nothing. I fixed my own food at some point, but you know, there's some kids that spoiled rotten. They can't fix their own food. They don't know how to make a hot bologna sandwich with a bubble. So
I'm glad I had older siblings, so I'm glad. Like when I got to be home by myself, it was a treat. It wasn't like it wasn't reality for me of just coming home to an empty damn house. Like I actually got to enjoy it and do some risky business shit.
but you can't, let's say you're 9, you can't fix that good home cooked meal. You can fix a bologna sandwich and fix a Mr. P's pizza.
Yeah, a bowl of
So
cereal.
who
That's all.
gets served first amongst the husband and the kids?
if it was me, I would say, why don't you go upstairs, take a shower, relax, feed the kids. He come back down. I can eat dinner with you while the kids is up in the room. Let me, you go upstairs, take a shower, and then feed the kids. Let them go upstairs, do their thing, and he come down and we eat together. Why it can't be like that?
Mm-hmm.
I always feed the kids first.
Sit down and,
because
eat,
they
have,
play-
and have dinner with him while the kids is in the room doing what they supposed to do, their homework, whatever.
I'm feeding the wife first. If it's the situation with her, I'm feeding the wife first. If she had a hard day,
It all depends on how they feel. They may say, "Let me go upstairs, take a shower first."
Yeah, who cooked?
You know, it all
Them kids,
depends on that person. But yeah, if he came in,
Them
here's,
All right,
kids
so hold on. Would the kids cook? Like, who cooked?
here's a sandwich from Blimpie. Here you go. I'm just playing.
them kids be all right. I'll let the wife eat first, then the
Yeah.
kids. She got to be nourished more than them kids.
I'm trying to figure out the order of events.
Yeah.
If both parents was at work, who cooked?
We can share responsibilities on cooking.
Okay, that's a good
Okay,
point.
so I mean, because I'll just take turns. Shit, if I'm cooking,
Unless you brought the
obviously,
food in,
I'm-
you brought
like
the
if I'm
food
the one
in.
that's cooking, I'm serving everybody because I used to be a
Right.
server. Like I'm I'm gonna bring everybody a damn plate
You
because I made it.
can't do that with every kid. Like you couldn't do that with me as a kid because if you serve everybody or you tell everybody just get your own plate, I'm going to try to get most of the food. Daddy ain't gonna get the big piece of
Honestly,
chicken.
that could be
I'm gonna
cool
take it
too.
from him. So you
I
got to
love
start it because kids don't have they have endless stomachs. They have bottomless stomachs. So you
Right.
got to separate who gets the most and separate who gets it first.
No, fix his plate first. You should fix his plate first.
set it up buffet style. Let people just walk by and fill up the
You couldn't do that with me, man. I'm telling you, I would have ate all. If you had the food and you, first of all, if I come to your house, if I come to your house, Sparky T, if I come to your house, Preezy, never ever tell me get as much as you like. Because I'm gonna eat everything you have. You got to tell me, is it 2 pieces?
Really like that?
Or is it 8 pieces or is it all? You got to give me a limit because I'm gonna eat everything that's
You was
in.
one of those check babies growing. You was like 6'2" out the womb, apparently. Like,
I was a hefty dude at 5. I hurt my mama for years. That's why she's having more kids after me because I probably broke her.
you like that one autistic baby from that episode of Rugrats.
He didn't.
No.
He walked.
I broke my mama's. That's why she's getting out no more kids. I came out too big.
That's what they said. At 10 pounds when I was born, I didn't give her no pain. That's what they said. Jay-Z was a
She didn't say that with me. I gave her a lot of pain during birth and after birth.
I'll feed whoever the fuck. I honestly, like, as a person that receives, I don't care. Honestly, I prefer the kids get situated first.
Right.
Like, they don't even have to start eating. Just get these,
snacks.
especially if they're toddlers.
Some chips.
Like, get them situated first. Get them on the little plastic mat that's like in between the kitchen and the living room so they can sit on the mat and watch the TV while they eat their food without spilling shit on the carpet or mom's new rug. That's how I was set. Like, you put the, and honestly, as the male, I don't need to eat first as long as I eat. Like, just no seconds before the proprietor or the person that prepared the meal. How about that?
That could work.
It don't even matter who get a plate first, as long as everyone, like, yeah, because why does it matter who gets a plate first if everyone getting a plate?
Because daddy need the big piece of chicken. And my big ass chicken I would eat the big piece of chicken. Daddy deserves it, and maybe even mama deserves the big piece of chicken. I ain't giving the kid a big piece of chicken for going to school.
Because if you cook, put that big piece to the side for mom or dad.
But that wouldn't have worked with me. I would have snuck and got it. I did.
Then you devious.
I know. The kids like that, man. I was devious. I'm telling you, kids are devious like that. They don't have any boundaries. That's why you got to raise them and show them how they supposed to go.
I mean, you sneaking the whole meal. I was sneaking like Capri Suns and gummy bears and shit. Like you in the kitchen with your finger in the pot. Then you put on some gloves and help serve.
Shoot, I was drinking out the pot. I won't put my finger in there.
I can see you 2 a.m. drinking collard green juice.
Yeah.
making candy yam baked sandwiches and shit. What was you doing? What was you on? Like,
man, I was on a sugar kick. Sugar and grease and shake and bake.
Yeah, they gave us a lot of any candy from the 90s was really just crack, like kid crack. Like a baby bottle pop is just, here go a sugary ass hard candy and some cherry crack.
Yeah. But like I said, kids don't have no boundaries. Kids will keep eating until you tell them to stop sometimes. Sometimes kids will eat just to prove they can eat. They ain't even hungry.
They don't know what to do with their boredom or their energy.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta give them boundaries sometimes, and sometimes showing he supposed to eat that much, she supposed to eat that much. You wait, and this is how much you get some portions of what we got left over. Unless we in a third world country, and you have to give them a thin half-inch slice of bread, then nah. I feel
like that's also an
mom got to eat first.
We get from like ancient cultures or medieval times where the king or the king or the head of the family is served first, so that any other, and it's primarily for males. This is for any other males in the family. You get to see the hierarchy. Your father is served first, and when you, my young son, come of age, you can challenge your father for a seat at the throne. Like that's all mythology is honestly about. Just a whole bunch of fathers and sons fighting for supremacy, fighting over a farm and shit, or Mount Olympus. I'm really into Greek mythology.
I see. You've been going into a lot of it tonight.
It's simple. It's all reciprocal. It's all relates. It all doubles back. We wouldn't have Jesus Christ if we didn't have Heracles.
All right.
I said it.
Anybody else got anything to say on the subject before we move on?
No, I agree with you. You know, feeding the mate first. I agree with that.
I was going to say I agree with Trent. We don't say that often sometimes. But now I agree with Trent. You know what I'm saying? Like, feed the kids first. I'm with the feed the kids first and make sure the kids are situated. But I also, like, you know, but like he said, put the big piece of chicken up. But I understand what Red is saying and that some kids will let you do that. I've had both situations. I think my second husband was more on the big chicken kind of thing, you know, and that's when we had foster kids and shit. They went, what? The big chicken? You just really hope you happy you get some chicken. I'm saying these kids in here, we got a bunch of kids to eat. But it wasn't, but and I was going to say, I think it also depends on the situation. Like if you're in a situation where your family, you know, might be financially strapped, so there's only X amount of pieces of chicken, you know, or if you in a family where, hey, you cooking 2 whole chickens because, you know, you got that many family heads to feed, you know what I'm saying? So then there's more than one big piece of chicken, you know? So I think some of that plays into it too. But if you get the kids out of the way, then like Preezy had even said before, as adults, you can, you know, kind of enjoy each other, but you still have gotten the kids out the way. You're not sitting there almost on a date with your spouse or your kids ain't ate yet. They sitting over there at the TV like, damn, when we gonna get to eat? Like, that's not really fair either. So, and I get that they just go to school, you know, it didn't work, but God gave them to you. You're responsible for them, you know, and taking care of them. Are you showing them that they always second-class citizens, you know, or whatever? Because they always, you know, you taking care of this other person first. Like, what are you teaching? So, I'm with the kids first.
She with the kids. All right. Okay.
I bet your fat greedy ass as a kid enjoyed that. Tell 10-year-old Big Red, I was a fat kid too, but I was only fat because I was short.
I was short too. It wasn't until high school I hit my growth spurt. And it wasn't until my senior year I hit my growth spurt.
Lucky. You grew like that. You tall as fuck, goddamn.
You didn't believe that until you actually met me, huh?
I mean, some people just call themselves big and it's like ironic, you know.
Oh yeah, like small dudes and be like, oh yeah, I'm big John.
Like R.I.P. Debo, his like motherfuckers calling this man tiny. Like, man.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move to the game show next. This is our second time doing this game with returning champ LT. He won the last game. It was between Preezy last time. LT came out the champion. We're gonna have 3 people.
That's not true. He cheated.
LT cheated somehow. But she's going to she may redeem herself this time, and we got Sparky T's going to participate in this. So we got 5 questions. Here's how it's going to go. First 4 questions are going to be multiple choice. 2 of them going to be worth 1,000 points. The other 2,000. And the final question, which is not multiple choice, which you will have to put a wager up of how much you're going to put up, or you won't have to put nothing up. It's worth 6,500 points.
Damn, that's specific.
Yeah. And the difference is Jeopardy, you don't find out what the wager is until you give the answer. You're going to give me your wager first, then we're going to give you the question, then you give me the answer.
Word. What's the topic, Alex?
I'll be over here with my pen and paper, my calculator, and I'll add it up and we'll see who actually wins the game. All right, so let me pop up the cheap graphic I spent 3 years on making.
Throw up a little W, just, you know, claim it already. You got to manifest the W.
All right. Time for episode You Don't Know Shit.
You can't hear you over the music, Red, but it's a lot. shit a lot though. That shit
How
like
can
mad
they
groupies,
say that in
man.
the 70s?
All right, let's get.
You want happening cat.
You playing porno music.
That was 70s porn
Bow,
music.
bow.
That wasn't disco shit. That was someone that's about to get their
Yeah.
Boom.
someone ordered.
Bump.
Mine's out the
Yo,
gutter.
it was like check a pow pow.
I heard you needed your plumbing fixed. Bounce.
All right, guys, let's get to the first question. Let's pop it up here right quick. It's going to be multiple choice. It's going to be worth 1,000 points. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
You're
In Love and Basketball, which song did Stewart throw to at the spring dance? Was it A, On 2 Occasions? B, I Want to Be Your Man? Or C, On Bended Knee?
oh yeah, go. Oh, we say I say not to say B.
Okay.
Sound thing loud as hell.
All right. So what do you got? Preezy, what do you have first? What's your answer?
I say B.
You say B. What about you, Sparky T?
I say B.
You say B. What about you, Lord Trent?
Big B's.
Go with Big B's.
Mad
Okay.
Big B's.
All right, Big B's. Let's see if you guys got it right. I guess you guys might have watched the movie. Let's see. Oh, damn it. Now I gotta find the button whether it's right or wrong.
Suspense.
Yes, all right.
I was about to say, who the hell is coming in? That was pretty. He only plays it like 23 times a week.
Bounce, bow, bow.
Bow, bow.
You guys stop. All right. Next
It's
question.
a space porn now. Space nuts.
All right, here's the next question. All right, what was the name of Nene's hair salon for 1,000 points? Is it A, You Go Girl Salon? B, Show Enough Hair Salon? Or C, the Chicken Head Salon?
That's hard.
All right, what are your answers? Sparky T, what you got first?
B. I don't know.
You said B?
That's,
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, LT?
I do know, and it is B. Damn it.
D for me.
All right, everybody picking the same answer. Oh, Dr. Lamar coming up here. I'm gonna hold on. I gotta hold on. Right quick.
Dr. Lamar will be coming on here 2 days.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
2 days later.
And you are right.
Bounce, bow, bow.
So everybody has 2,000 points so far. Tied up. All right, y'all know your trivia so far. You do know shit.
9 into 2000. Wow.
About time. I ain't know shit last time.
Yeah, you didn't know anything. Yeah.
Everything I know
I
is
was
trivia.
a dummy.
Niggas.
Okay, question number 3. Okay, who played Whitley Gilbert's father in A Different World for 2000? Was it Richard Roundtree A, B, Ozzie Davis, or C, Ron O'Neal? Okay, Sparky T, what do you have on this one?
C. Ron O'Neal.
C, Ron O'Neal. LT, what do you pick?
I I didn't watch A Different World. Like I'm gonna talk to you like how to be talking to Alex on that. Well, damn, Alex. Shit. This is a good one, man. Oh man. Shit. I don't even know who Ossie Davis is. I'm gonna go with Ron O'Neal. Probably the only name I recognize.
Okay, Preezy.
No, I'm gonna go with A. We all been picking the same answers. I'm gonna go with A.
Okay, Preezy, what you go with?
No, actually, I want to go back to C.
Lord.
I didn't feel confident about A. I sounded confident. I know that I did, but I don't feel.
Final answer. Is it C?
It's gonna be C, Alex. Thank you.
Okay. Preezy, what do you pick?
C.
C. Okay.
Yeah.
See what we got.
Not them two.
Bow chicka bow bow.
I could have serious.
All right. It's question number 4. Here we go.
Richard Roundtree.
All right. James Evans' character in Good Times died in a car accident in what state? A, Mississippi, B, Georgia, or C, Illinois. All right. What answers do we have here? Sparky
I'm a
T.
big fan of that show. I gotta know this.
I'm gonna say B, Georgia.
Okay, B, Georgia. LT.
Damn. Well, the devil did take a midnight train down there. Can I use a lifeline, Regis?
No, you can't. Final answer.
I called you Regis, though.
Yeah, in 5 seconds. Call me Regis instead. That rhymes.
That A, I'm gonna go A, Mississippi.
He's going A, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Crazy. You're going with A?
M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, humpback, I.
Okay, so LT and Preezy.
It's gotta be. I'm a big fan of that show.
LT and Preezy.
They lived in Illinois, right? Or some shit.
Yeah.
They didn't even get a city. They just lived in the ghetto, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. All right, so this is the final question, which is not multiple choice. Got to know this one off the dome. Now, guys, tell me, what will you wager for the final question? Or you, Sparky T? Because Sparky T, you have, let's see, got 4,000 right now.
So is that the most I can wager?
That's the most you can wager. You can wager less.
I mean, why would
Wager it
you?
all.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. What about you, LT?
How much I got?
You have 6,000. You got them all right.
All right. Shit. Damn. I wish I was going last because I would literally just do one more.
All right, price is right.
Man, shit. 6,000, bro. Man, goddamn.
All right. What about you, Preezy? What do you want to wager?
$1.
$1.
I thought he said that the question was worth 6,500 regardless. Because remember, LT was like, that's real specific.
Yeah,
I'm risking it all.
That's true. I did say 6,500. So yeah, 6,500. How much? How much do you want to wager? Let's just forget the whole 6,500 thing. How much do you want to wager on this last thing? I kind of messed. I did mess up on that.
I think we all maxing out.
We maxing out. We're gonna take a
everybody maxing out.
Well, Preezy wants to do $1. You doing $1 or you doing?
No. I'll do the whole thing.
She's gonna do the whole thing. All right.
Yep.
All right. So don't mind the graphic when it says 6,500 because that's what's about to pop up here. So everybody's doing 6,000. All right. Again, it's not multiple choice. Here we go. Who was the first African American to run for the nomination for president of a major party? The first African American to run for the nomination for president of the United States of a major party. Okay. I'm gonna start with Sparky T. What is your answer for this? You have risked 4,000 of your earnings. What is your answer?
I don't know. Surely something. I don't know.
She doesn't know. So that's not the answer. So she drops down to 0. LT. What do you give the answer to this? What do you give?
I would like to delegate and liberate and educate and Jesse Jackson.
As soon as he started with his words, I was like, Jesse Jackson.
So who do you pick? What did you say?
Jesse motherfucking Jackson.
You are incorrect, sir.
What? Damn, I knew it. You a liar.
I was getting ready to say that.
All right,
I did. I remember one of my shows. I did Black History. It was a female. Oh, Shirley Chisholm tried to run.
You are correct. That is the answer.
I said Shirley something. He said that's not what we were looking for, but I got it.
She was the first black and the first female black person to run for president.
I remember.
So what the fuck did Jesse do in the 70s?
Oh, well, he ran in the 80s.
He came after her. Yeah, he came after her. She was just before him.
They don't teach me that in my.
Because she's the woman that got the little, that be having the little glasses that come in the little corner, right? When they always show, that's why I was like, Shirley something. I ain't want to be. Yeah, I got you.
They don't teach me that.
Only reason why I remember Chisholm is because there's a park that they made by me, and it's called Shirley Chisholm.
I wasn't even born. Damn. Like,
yeah, I just remember we did a thing on her, and I remember.
I'm a millennial.
With that being said, Preezy gained 12,000 points
herself
and is now the champion.
God damn it.
Bouncing about.
Where I pick up Mercedes Benz at?
I'm sorry. All we have is Miatas
Oh,
from the 1980s.
That's right. Bouncing about.
We do have a moped.
Yeah, that's what you get to pick.
It doesn't work. But
Damn, a moped.
Yeah.
Moped. Moped.
Full of gas though. It's full of gas. It don't work though.
Oh, it's
You get a
probably.
Vespa or a Honda CRV.
No, we don't have enough money for that. I'm sorry.
We'll try to get you a Honda CRV. At least.
As long as it's not like.
All right, good. See, Preezy redeemed herself. It's because LT was cheating last time, right? Right, Preezy?
Yeah.
I knew all that shit. See, look, I know trivial shit. Don't ever get it fucked up, confused, twisted, or any of the three. I know mad trivial shit. That was important though. Knowing who the first African American person to run for president of a major party is important. That's not trivial. So honestly, I feel like this is rigged and this election is stolen from me, and I can't wait to charge your capital.
Check about now.
Oh wow. Okay, that's serious there. I mean, that's big. Not just the first black person. She was the first black person, and she was a female.
That's important as shit. Like, and I never like on the real shit during Black History Month. That's why I said Jesse Jackson, because I remember I had to do a Black History program play, and they wanted me to play Jesse Jackson and say that shit.
Oh wow.
1972.
I'm glad I didn't. I elected to play.
Shit, that's before any of our ass was born.
Right. And,
I was too.
So loud, Sparky.
I was too, but if you would have asked for the year, I would have never. No.
What'd you say, Red?
You had to say it so loud. That's before any of us are born.
Well, I've been saying that because I think earlier LT was like, that was before I was born, but that's not what you said, 72. I'm like, shit, that's before any of us were born.
Right. See, that's that history though. That's Black history. That's
you know, they don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Nigga, I just get reminded of Rosa Parks. That's it. That's like I literally hear about. Hear
about her and Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Since I went through the public school system at a later date than y'all, I was still getting the same outdated information as y'all.
Oh, speaking of, you just said this, what the hell happened to Harriet Tubman? Was supposed to be on the money. She supposed to be on.
Right.
Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, they can't. She was out.
COVID came. I think.
What? That affected the.
Damn, she didn't get on the money because COVID came.
COVID came, and next thing you know, you never heard nothing about it.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
He was supposed to be on a $2 bill.
They was bringing the two back.
$2 or 20.
It was a 20 because she was replacing Andrew Jackson's racist.
Right.
behind.
And all of a sudden, something
All of them had slaves.
COVID that came up, and you never heard nothing else about it.
Yeah. Like Obama was one, I think right before he left, that was something I thought he passed that was supposed to happen with the next administration, which we've had 2 now. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Trump stopped.
Man,
You know Trump wasn't about to put her ass on no money.
the fuck?
Nope.
Why
Trump
would
was
I
not
put-
about to do that shit.
Trump
He
looked
was
at
not
that
about
and
to do
said,
that shit.
Why would I put Aunt Jemima on? why
So I said
would
Trump was not about to do that shit. I don't give a
why
damn
would
what
I put
Obama
this
had
slave
passed
on
before
the
him.
money?
Exactly.
Why would I put this slave on the money? Why would I do that? I like money. Why would I want to see that?
And
Put
then
me on the money.
Y'all, Lamar went somewhere. She said
where's Dr. Lamar?
she said something about she logged off. She can't hear anything. I don't know. She'll be back. She'll probably had to do a bathroom break or something. All right. So next subject we're getting in is Tyler Perry, or as some people know him as Madea. Recently was on a podcast talking about women dating guys, I guess, that haven't quite made it yet. They're not the financial providers that women would like the men to be, and how going on in the dating world women should deal with that type of situation. He was giving advice how women should go forth in that type of situation. And we're going to talk about whether you agree that women should date these type of men with the advice he's given.
Especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man and is good to you, and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no, I need somebody who is, they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have, well, go on, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go on, keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make.
Okay, so we're going to pop the timer up on this. We're going to give everybody a couple minutes to speak on it. Tell us your opinion about it. Do you agree with the advice that Tyler Perry is giving to women too? If you can find someone that can love you, cherish the household, treat you well, but he only can pay the light bill, then you should love that man. So I'm going to pop the timer up here as soon as I find it. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Let me say who's going first before I do all that.
Are you ready? Go!
Thing don't want to stop for me. All right, so Preezy, I'm gonna let you go first on this one. Give me your opinion on it. Do you agree with Mr. Tyler Perry / Madea had to say about dating, the advice he was giving out?
Are you ready? Go!
Well, Mr. Tyler obviously don't understand that a lot of relationships or marriages kind of break up due to financial reasons, and that's hard on one person to be doing everything. Life is stressful enough. He can only pay the light bill. What about all the other 12 bills we got? We got car note, car insurance, gas, mortgage. I don't know. I don't know about that one. That's a and he's what? What is he doing in the house? He keeps the house clean and what? What you said? He keeps the house clean. So I'm basically the breadwinner, and I got to back up every night. I don't know. That's a lot. Listen. We are in we're in inflation right now, and right now you really need if you have someone, you really gotta have somebody that's really playing their part as far as financially. It's a lot for one person to take on because all you're gonna do, you're gonna come home, you're gonna be arguing, you're gonna get aggravated because you're doing everything. I mean, hell, we're keeping the house clean. We get a housekeeper for that. I need somebody to get out there and work. I mean, I don't know. That's tough. I mean, I don't think it's tough. I just want somebody that has a job. You gotta just have a job. I don't want to be doing everything. I'm not supposed to be doing everything. No, I'm not accepting that. Larry can say that because he got millions. It's easy for him to say that.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna call him later because I ain't like I'm gonna give him a call later. But down. Sparky, you see what you started? Yeah. I can't get that damn thing out of my head.
I'm keeping the music. I'm not changing that. I'm keeping that song.
I love it.
All right, LT. You give us your answer. What do you think about the advice Tyler Perry was given here?
Are you ready? Go!
Damn. So damn, you started it already. The leave it or medicate it. How would I medicate it? I don't even know what I would do because Tyler Perry ain't. I don't know what his relationships be like. I know. I agree with that last part of what Freezy said. He's not the man with nothing to provide except for the light bill. So I do see the aspect of telling women to settle. Primarily black women, telling black women to settle for men that don't make as much. And it's a whole different tangent to get into why black men don't make as much as black women. It all breaks down to something that every black man and every black woman has to address together. Get out and vote if you're in Fayetteville. It is time to vote for the local mayor. That's how we start addressing these economic and financial problems that we all experience. What I also noticed in it is basically I'm gonna medicate it by ignoring. What's up, Dr. Lamar? I'm gonna medicate it by just going about my relationship as is. Like I don't know what the fuck to say to Tyler Perry and his advice. I don't know what he date. I didn't even know this nigga like women for real. I'm gonna be honest, and not even to say like because he's gay he doesn't have, or because I think he's gay he doesn't have a right to weigh in on this shit. But the rich elite love telling us regular black people how we should do things, but you're not really showing us the way to do it. And not to say that we need them to show us the way to do it. We kind of just need them to shut the fuck up about it, because we're not ever going, or not to say we're not ever going to be able to do it like them, but nobody wants to be the breadwinner, but somebody has to be the breadwinner. It's a little funny. That's all I got.
All right. Sparky T, I'll let you go next. Tell us what you think about the advice that Tyler Perry was given in this video.
Are you ready? Go!
Well, first things first, I think he took it a little bit far, talking about he could only pay the light bill. And I say that because even if you were to work at a Burger King or McDonald's, I'm gonna still need you to be able to pay more than the light bill.
Thank you.
Okay, now with that part to the side, I don't necessarily know that what he said was so damn bad. And the reason I say that is because not that we should necessarily settle, but I, for myself, if somebody don't make as much money than me, I don't want it to just be like, well, shit, I can't date you because you don't make as much money than me. Or I don't date you because you don't, or I can't be with you because you don't make, as he said, 5 times as much money as me. I think that I don't think that should be like that. Now, I think sometimes where the problem comes in is if a woman does make more money than the man, sometimes the man can't deal with that. Sometimes it's the man that has an issue with the fact that the woman makes more money than him. You know what I'm saying? And that can come out in all types of ways and behaviors and different things, because there's an issue, almost like an imbalance. But if somebody can love you for you, they can contribute. Like Crazy said, maybe they keeping the house clean and you not dealing with the chores, and like Tyler said, with him not paying, maybe let's say half or whatever, he can take you out more. He can contribute to some recreational things or that kind of thing. Like, it's almost like, if you making 500, let's say she's a millionaire, just like he's a millionaire. Does she have to date another millionaire? Does she have to be with somebody that only makes millions? Well, that may make the dating pool small if she's trying to, date people that, I don't want to say are on her level, but people that make the same amount of money as her, or people that make more money than her. So I think that it's got to be on both of their part to be able to be in a situation that's okay where the woman makes more money. Because like I said, a lot of times men have a problem with her making more money. But that also comes out in sometimes, the person that makes more money, well, I make more money than you. And if that's the situation you in, you can't really be like that because you can't emasculate him because he don't make as much money as you. But you could be in love with somebody that don't make as much money as you, and the situation could realistically work. He gonna have to pay more than the light bill, I think, though, for it to work. I think that was a crazy example that he can only pay the light bill. Maybe she gonna pay the mortgage and he gonna pay the lights, the water, and the cable.
Right.
They might be okay with that situation. That's still more than just the light bill. She taking the bulk, he's taking the auxiliary stuff. That might could work, because he doesn't make as much money. I mean, even if they try to go 50-50 and he doesn't make as much money, he might could put his 50 in on it, but then he ain't gonna have no money to take you out to dinner at the end of the day. Then you're gonna be upset about that part. So it's like you gotta have some give and take it there in order to make that situation work.
Yeah.
But I think that it could work.
All right. Dr. Lamar, I'm not sure if you saw the video or not.
Yep.
You did?
You know what? I think.
Hold on.
I
Let
don't
me put the timer up. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
Give
Are
us 10
you
minutes.
ready?
Give us 10 minutes.
Bow chicka bow
Go.
bow.
Hey, y'all. Go ahead.
Okay. You know what? I don't think there was anything wrong with what he says. But for some people, your light bill, your electric bill may be $40. For somebody else, it may be $2,000. I think, it was probably taken so literal, and that's okay. But I don't mind making more. I don't mind if the other person make more, because you just never know. Sometimes it starts off where you may make more, but then tables turn and they may make more. Some of the best relationships I've had where I've made more, but they made me laugh. They were just good people. Sometimes circumstances may, happen where the person may not be able to make as much. So I think I don't see anything wrong with what he said. I think when people like light bill, yeah, well, guess what? I know some people, their light bill be $20 and $30, right? My light bill has been $1,000. So I just don't think that,
Yeah.
I just didn't see anything wrong with it, but I understand what people are upset about it. But, to each their own.
That's an expensive light bill. Damn. And the words of Teddy Pendergrass, turn them off.
Well, because the whole house was on electric.
Turn them off. Damn.
The whole house was on electric. So that's why.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That shit's still high though for 1 month, even with the whole house on electric.
The whole house.
Y'all
Crazy.
keep the lights on. Wow.
Not a mini mansion, but a real mansion for $1,000 light bill in 1 month. That shit high.
The whole house was on electric. Even your
everybody ass would have been in candles. Everybody would have had candles.
I'm telling you.
But even your
Candles.
Now
Right.
use your phone. Shine a light on them.
right.
No,
But even the dryer,
Your
was
hot water heater, your hot water
Oh.
heater,
everything.
But still, even with
I think he
everything
was
being electric,
being.
that's still high.
I think because he rich, he don't know how bills work anymore. All that shit is on auto
That's
pay
true.
for
That
him.
could be true too. That could be true.
Let me go right quick.
Are you ready? Go!
I think it depends on the margin of defeat. And what I mean by that is if you can make less, but how far apart in salary are you two? Now, if you only making, McDonald's money and she making CEO money of McDonald's, then that's gonna be a problem. And where it's gonna be a problem at is when y'all get in an argument that has nothing to do with bills. She gonna bring up, well, I pay all the bills here. You can't say shit. Not all women, but I've seen it where women will use that. The finances like, hey, I'm paying all these things in here, and all you doing is staying home. Yeah, you're feeding the kids, and yeah, you clean the dishes, but I pay for the dishes. I pay for the electricity for the dishwashers. You can't say nothing. I think a woman can love a guy based on potential that he'll make better at one point, but the clock is ticking. Just like on this game and this right here, the clock is ticking. If you continue to live your life the same way and you don't use that potential to get better and put her, and this is the other thing, a lot of the women that were probably complaining that Tyler Perry was answering, they're probably saying, I want to be put in a feminine role where I don't have to do all the paying and do all the protection, and you're not doing anything. It's the clock is ticking before she's going to kick him out and look for another guy. Her eyes are always going to be wandering for someone else that actually can do what he can't. So it all depends on the margin of the feet, because what's his name? Stedman. He's with Oprah. He never going to make Oprah money, but he makes pretty good chump change that he can do things for her, and they can't pay all the bills of the mansions he paid, but he can pay a pretty good amount. Oprah ain't going to be with nobody that only makes McDonald's money. She gonna find somebody that actually can make at least. It all depends on how long she wants to stay. If she's thinking of a long-term relationship, and you see she ain't married to the guy, but if she want to be in a long-term relationship, I'm talking about any person, any woman, more than likely she's gonna have to find somebody who makes close or more than what she makes. It can't be that far apart, because eventually
She's the richest, one of the richest women in the world. So
what'd you say, Priest?
The other thing she was saying she's the women's woman. She's the richest.
Yeah, one of the richest.
Yeah, yeah, you ain't catching that.
Right.
Right. I think the other thing too is it depends on how maybe like how y'all started. Like let's say the woman went to college to be a lawyer and the man supported her in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is an example, or a doctor or something like that. Let's say he supported her in that. You know what I'm saying? So then when she gets to that goal, you can't be looking at him like, well, you don't make as much money as I do, because shit, we just made the same amount of money. I just supported you so that you could better yourself, so that you could make more money for the, and then she could support him, and then he could and catch up. So I think it depends on the situation. But I think the other thing is it's about what the other person wants. I mean, if you with somebody that is not even close to you, and they don't care about not being close to you, and they ain't trying to get close to you, and they're not trying to, everything isn't necessarily always about money. You may bring some other things to the relationship, but if you ain't bringing shit, just at the crib, you know what I'm saying? You're not bringing nothing, like that's not going to work, but if you put it in your best, you giving your best, you know what I'm saying? You doing what you can do, and you bringing your best to the situation, it could work. I think that the how big the divide is or whatever, makes a difference, like you were saying too, Red. But I think it depends on what they support each other into, because people, shit changes. You might be making that kind of money today, that might come up on something, and now you better, or she done came down a couple rungs. So it's got to be where you supporting each other on that that basic level, or that shit ain't working.
It better be the sex is working all right. If it ain't the sex,
that's why I said you're gonna have to bring something. You gonna have to either be laying pipe and taking care of the kids, and you have to be doing something other than because.
Yeah, and you're right, because I was the same way, right? So my ex-husband and I, we decided, okay, I was gonna go back to school, right? So I went back to school, but it was so hard because it's like you gotta study, and then you gotta take care of the kid, the house, so it was still like an imbalance. And I was like, just cook or just pick her up. And he was like, he was cool with that. But then it's like once I got to almost the finish line, it's like it changed, like reality hit. And I told him, I said, no, whatever you want to do, let me know. I said, I'll definitely support you. But it's just like, it just did not click for him. So you're absolutely right. Like to me, I figured like if I'm successful, we both successful. If you're successful, that's the way I looked at it. But apparently he didn't look at it that way. And I never said like this is mine or anything like this. I was always like, this is ours. But he just did not see it that way.
And Sparky T made a good point earlier when she was talking about, and this is, we can call it ego, or this is how guys are, but I think a real guy, real man, is not going to want to be in that position forever where he can't help. He can't provide, not even 50-50. If he can't even do that, a real man is not going to want to be in that position for long. He's going to feel down on himself. It's probably going to come out in other ways, maybe anger at his woman. He might be jealous of her or mad at her, whatever, if he's not secure in himself. I don't even know if I just want to call it secure. That's just naturally how I think guys are supposed to be. But they want to protect, they want to provide. Most guys, not every guy. Eventually, it's going to come out, and they're going to resent each other. And it may be coming from him or it may be coming from her. And another thing with guys, it's just different. You know, I think a real guy is not going to get mad at a woman who can't provide. Most guys, or who can't pay for most of the bills and stuff. It's naturally known that, you know, we want to do most of the stuff. We want to pay majority of the bills and stuff like that. He's not going to be mad. A man will take a woman at her lowest. She could be homeless and he'll be fine with it. He'll still love her the same. But if a guy is homeless and can't pay nothing, like I said, the clock is ticking. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Some people want to call it gold digging. No, that's just how life is. That's just the role of man, natural role of men and women. That's not gold digging. Gold digging is when you want something more than what the man can provide naturally. That's gold digging. But wanting what the natural things that you should want out of life, a house, a home, electricity, heat, and air, and food, that's not gold digging. That's what a woman should want, and she would want for a man. I don't think that's asking for too much. Okay. I don't think that's gold digging at all. That's just the natural role of what guys, and how the difference between guys and women. Women are not going to want a guy for very long who can't do anything but pay a light bill. On reverse, if a woman can't pay anything, if this is a real guy, if a woman can't pay for anything, he'll accept her and he'll love her just the same.
So you're okay with what Steve Harvey said about a woman should not have to bring anything to a relationship, just her and maybe her kids? So I'm just asking. I'm not being funny. I'm just asking.
You shouldn't ask a woman to bring anything to the table. That's what Steve Harvey said. You shouldn't ask any woman to bring anything to the table. That's not her job.
Is he talking about just finances, or is he talking about other, everything as far as
finance? Because a gentleman would no. Go ahead, Dr. Lamar.
No, you go ahead. Because I didn't. When I heard it, he didn't to me specify. I didn't hear him specify what he should bring. It was like,
I think a guy was saying, "What is a woman gonna bring to the table?" If they asking us what we bring to the table as far as finances and stuff like that, shouldn't a woman bring something to the table? And that's when he said, "No, it's not the woman's job to bring anything to the table. You're the provider."
If he's talking about just finances, I can agree with that, but there's other things that a woman can bring to the table besides finances.
I think they were talking about finances.
Okay.
Finances. Okay. I'm glad you said it because I didn't know. Because I didn't I didn't know what else he meant or said.
I'm pretty sure he was. I wish I could find it. Yeah.
He was on Shannon Sharp things Club Shay Shay.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
I think
well, here's the thing.
I thought it was finances because he said, guy says, well, everybody was saying, well, we need to bring to the table. A woman should bring to the table too, just like us. Should be an even thing.
Well, here's the thing. If she wants what you can't bring to the table, then she ain't the one for you. You don't have to have her. Just like if she...
Did he say bring her and her children to the table? Like she already had children from other men, and she's bringing them to the table for you?
She already had children, yes.
Yeah, she already had children.
Okay, see, that's telling men to settle. That's telling men to settle because we treat it like men don't want to have their first child with the woman that's having their first child. Like that's never a thing. Like, why are we not being told what we only talk about settling when it comes to women, but men get told to settle too. Like there's a lot more young women that feel like they don't need men because follow my link in the bio, and it's literally their OnlyFans, and they're masturbating in the back of their Uber. And I hate to say it like that, but yeah, that's kind of the. I'm so glad I'm not in the dating pool. Like I'm so glad I don't have to be out here on POF or Tinder anymore, because it's really trash, because our interactions with each other are solely based financially. Like there are people who literally put DM me, or excuse me, cash at me, slide into my DMs. And that's like before I even know if you're worth the companionship, before I even know if you can even hold conversation, I have to provide my benefit, my value in a monetary way. So I don't know what the fuck Steve Harvey actually said. Didn't he cheat on his wife not too long ago, or a few years, maybe about a decade ago, or some shit?
His first wife, I think.
His first wife, I think he did.
Okay, so he's
been married 3 years.
You can change. You can become a different person. Definitely, you can change the way that you see the world. I just think we need to stop settling for things as individuals. Like I after that relationship I had with that woman, that made me feel like I wasn't doing my job as a stepfather or as an actual father, because I didn't call myself a stepfather. I called myself a dad. I told myself, okay, I don't want to date a woman that has children, because I don't. I want and not even just because I don't care about them kids, they're not mine. I want my first experience bringing a child into the world to be with someone else whose it's their first experience to bring a child in the world. Like, would you tell a virgin to go have sex with the oldest prostitute he could find? Or would you want a virgin and another virgin to share that experience? That's what they tell us on our wedding night. That's what they used to tell us as men and women, to save your sanctity until you meet your husband, until you meet your wife, and then you guys consummate your marriage on the night of. But we don't do that anymore. We settle for Netflix and chill. We settle for, let's sit in my car and smoke, and then let's see what the fuck happens. And then that's how a lot of these situations are created. We're trying to either just get our sexual rocks off, get our financial needs met, or just have someone to fulfill the boredom of, or not even fulfill the boredom, have someone there to occupy my time so that I don't have to work on myself. And it would behoove me much more if you were already put together, either financially or primarily financially, if you were already put together financially, so that I don't have to do that work for myself. Like everyone should want to be their own provider and want to be their own breadwinner for their self, because you should never want another person to lord over you. Well, I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that, because that makes you less of their partner and more of their possession. And when we start looking at things in terms of finances like this, like he's only able to pay a light bill. What job do you have? Because are you mismanaging your money? Because even if you're working at Burger King or fucking Popeyes, you get a bi-weekly check that comes out to more than what the light bill is, unless y'all light bill is like $500, $600 fucking dollars. You know what I'm saying? That's the average bi-weekly check from a minimum wage job. About $500, $600, maybe $700. He can pay more than a light bill. That's why I feel like Tyler Perry probably misspoke and just said just the light bill or whatever. He was a bit of hyperbole he was throwing on right there, or a bit not enough explanation. But if I'm making millions, I don't give again, it's on auto pay. I don't give a fuck about the light bill. Like if I'm because men are always conditioned to be the breadwinners. You're right. If I'm making millions, I don't care where she work at, because she don't have to work no more. I'm with her because I want her companionship. I want her time. I want her company. And I don't see her just cleaning my house. Like that's only, and if I didn't respect the things that she did for the home, that's when we start to like, because women clean the home, they cook, they take care of the children, and they want that respected. But when a man is doing it, you should be doing the financial stuff. Like, it's not really shit when you as a man are doing the household duties, the feminine aspect of things, getting the kids ready for, school in the morning and packing the lunches and shit. But that is very important. When a woman, like when they're I do this, I cook, I clean, I this, but you're not the breadwinner. So would a man be wrong for saying you're not the breadwinner? So it's not like I have to respect what you do around here, because we kind of say that to men when that's what they do around here. And I feel like, again, if we just did more of the same things for each other, you know what I'm saying? Instead of letting our celebrities, letting random people come in and devise us. Because again, these are people with millions whose significant others wouldn't have to do shit anyway, telling us what we should settle for or what we should expect.
Let me ask you this question, Precy. What would be settling for you? If you were dating a guy, or let's just say marrying a guy, what would be settling for you? Something you wouldn't do. So what would be settling?
As far as finances?
Finances, yeah. But other things. It could be other things.
I'm not settling.
I'm just saying, yeah, but what would that be? What would be considered settling?
He's not financially correct. I'm not gonna be out here struggling. I'm financially good, so usually you have to. I'm not saying that finance plays a big role in relationships or marriage. I'm telling you, it really does. I mean, just listening to. I'm not married, but just listening to people's stories and doing reading, it plays a big role. And I'm not saying that the person's not good. Maybe you can help them get a job. Maybe you can help them get a better job. I mean, I would do that for the person, encourage them. But it takes a toll on that one person to have to do everything. I don't even think it's fair for the man to have to do everything. I think the woman has to do their part too, whatever it is. Now,
don't have to be financial.
Like Rocky T said, if that person is taking care of things, other things like the home and book a bow.
You talking about? Oh yeah. Well,
Because you know what? If that person is showing you, I respect you, thank you so much, and you come home, your house is clean, things are done, and just organized, you could probably say, you know what, hey, okay, maybe they, try to help them, encourage them, get them on their feet, try to get a little better income and stuff. But if you're sitting around, you're not doing nothing, and I'm coming in here, dragging my feet like Harriet Tubman, I don't walk through the forest and the trees. No, it's not going to work. It's not. But if I see you trying to make an effort and, hey, listen, maybe they got laid off or something like that. Maybe something like that happened. But if they showing initiative and they're really working with you and helping you, I would support that. But then you got people that take advantage. Like, I ain't got to do nothing. She doing it. You got people out there that's doing that. And you would know. And that's what you got to get.
So mainly what I'm hearing, if he had it fine everywhere else, he was emotionally strong, he was caring, loving, took care of the kids, washed the kids, washed the car and all this type of stuff, but he wasn't financially secure. He only could pay half of the light bill.
Half? Why you go half now? Oh no love. No
love. Okay.
No, I can't. Come on, this life is already hard. We struggling as it is. We inflation, and come on, half of the light bill.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get somebody. They got to be at. You don't have to be on the same level, but at least somewhere over here. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's just no.
And that's different between guys and women. Like I said, a woman cannot be financially secure and can't pay for anything. That's not the top thing. It can be on the list, but it's not the number one thing. For us, it'd probably be like emotionally available, nurturing, caring, does care for the kids, does keep the house clean, can help cultivate whatever you got going on. She can help cultivate your business. She can help cultivate your home. Like I said, good listener, good speaker, respectable. There's a bunch of other things that ain't got nothing to do with finances that a guy will care for more over finance. Not to say no guy don't care for no finances, but it ain't the number one thing that we look for. That it won't make or break most guys, I don't think, anyway.
Yeah, but then people go out
Nothing
there
wrong
and
with it.
because they do so much that they can do anything they want. See, I'm doing
That's
this.
because of the
I'm doing,
imbalance of power, though.
right, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So you can't tell me nothing because I'm taking care of the household. I'm giving you money. I'm doing that. So don't worry about where I'm going tonight. Don't worry about me coming in this time. You taken care of, right? I'm
Somebody
providing.
guy saying that.
I'm providing stuff for you, right? So shut up and go sit back. Here's some money. Be quiet. That's how some people are too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they
I
have
agree.
so much control and power, they think they can, you ain't got nothing to say because you ain't bringing nothing to the table. So be quiet. Go sit over there. Because I'm doing all of this. So you can't say nothing to me. You have people like that.
Yeah, I agree, but I'll disagree with Tyler. No, not Tyler. Who's the other person we were talking about? Steve Harvey. I think women do bring something to the table. It don't have to be money for them to bring something to the table. I don't know if that's what he meant, that women don't have to bring nothing to the table. I'm like, no, I disagree. You don't have to bring money to the table or all your money, whatever. There's a lot of other things that women bring to the table besides money.
I think he was just talking about money, though, because he said the statement that men are supposed to be the providers.
Okay.
He used the term provider, and I think when he's talking about it too in the big scheme of things, he's talking about in a marriage. So if you're the husband, what I'm saying, you're supposed to be the house bander.
Exactly.
Back to the root of the word. So if you band in the house, then you are financially providing for the house. You're banding it together. That's your job, and going back to biblical, so I think he was coming from that place that women are supposed to be providing. So she's worried about what she had to bring to the table. How much is she paying? That's not her damn job, in marriage and as him being the house bander. I think that's where he was coming from, that perspective.
Yeah. And with that being the perspective, you can't come and ask a woman to do all these things you want, and you got her doing everything for you. You can't ask her to do things that are deemed feminine or cultivate the house and all that type of stuff, and she got to come home after work and do all that stuff. You can't ask for that. You can't ask for both.
Yeah, you can't expect her to make the bacon and come home and cook the bacon. We both got to have a role in it. We either both making the bacon, and we both cooking the bacon, or I'm making the bacon and you cooking the bacon, or you're making the bacon and I'm cooking the bacon. But I can't be making the bacon and coming in here and cooking the shit and cleaning up after I done cooked the bacon. Like, that's too much.
And that's why that's why she's gonna let your ass drown.
Yeah.
You don't bring it to the table.
You be blowing bubbles.
I'm about to play this thing.
Yeah, because when he's drowning, he can't do shit with that pipe. Nothing. Like nothing. You can't even thrust.
I ain't messing with y'all.
Yeah.
It's a good song. If it wasn't a good song, we wouldn't still be talking about it.
Right,
X amount of segments later. Like, for real. It's another we can talk about it. That's a good song.
That's going on my playlist. That's my love, my night in love playlist now. All right. We'll move on this. We got a segment. I did an interview. I don't know if y'all know about it. I did a very important interview. You remember the brawl with the white people that were attacking that black guy? Mm-hmm. Remember that brawl? And you remember that?
Brawl. I might remember something about that.
Yeah, the Aqua Negro that was swimming. I got an interview with him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I got a special interview with him. I was able to reach him, get in contact with him, and we talked about a few things, and we're going to premiere that interview tonight.
It's an interesting development. Oh, my
God.
God.
Who is it now?
You remember the guy that was swimming to save the black guy during that?
Oh,
The Mississippi brawl was it? No, Alabama brawl. It was
yes.
Alabama, right? It was
Yeah, it was
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yes.
Okay, the Alabama
Pookie
brawl.
Phelps. Pookie Phelps.
Pookie Phelps. Yeah, I got an interview with him.
Nice.
We're gonna premiere it tonight, so you guys get to see it. Let's see. Let me find it right quick. So you guys enjoy and see what this guy has to talk about his background and what happened that day. So here we go. Hostile interview with Aqua Nigga. Here we go.
Aqua Niggas.
Yo.
Anytime we see our people getting to the good hands, we will show up, whether that be by running up, pulling up, or swimming the fuck over. Okay? Bikini Bottom, motherfucking Talacone, Atlantis, fucking Bubble Guppy Land. Who else be underwater? Who else some underwater people? Who else be at? Just know.
Snorkels, you name them?
Oh man, snorkels. Oh man, I heard underwater Smurfs.
Yeah, you helped out that black guy that was getting attacked by all the gang of white people that day. Can you name another instance where you had to go save someone's life with your skills, your special set of skills, that is?
My skills, the skills that I've gotten and showcased those days have been skills that were passed down to me from family member to family member. My father trained Michael Phelps. My grandfather trained Flipper. We've been in the water. Marco Polo is not a game that anyone ever wanted to play. You know what I'm saying? My skills in the water have been ancestral. You know, they try to make it seem like we black folks have never been in the water. How did we get over here? If that's the case, like some of us jump from the ships willingly. What they don't want to tell you is that some of those people that jump from the ships swam to shore. That's how your boy got here. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I know you're thirsty, real thirsty right now, man. I'm sorry I don't have a pool of water to put you in for this interview. Okay, he's still going.
Damn. Talk about the hot. Yo, check a out.
Because he need water.
Jeez. What?
Damn, y'all not thirsty?
Wow.
Y'all ain't? Anybody? Nobody?
He must get
So my father, right? Not only was he the most brolic swimmer I ever met, as his time as a Navy SEAL, pun very intended, he got captured. He was a POW, prisoner of war. They soon found that this was not going to go their way because they kept trying to waterboard him. And he just wouldn't die. Yeah.
Do you have anything as far as human rights or sea rights, I guess that would be correctly calling it, that you're fighting for currently that you want to announce right now?
Well, I do want to protect our rights. That's why I jumped off that boat today. I saw a man being attacked by a group of whack-ass, mark-ass, buster-ass, want-to-be-bitch-made-ass men. So I do feel like the rights of a man need to be protected. I feel like the rights of the sea, not just the creatures in the sea, but the whole sea as an entity of its own needs to be protected. You could say that I'm a sea man. I'm a seaman. I'm a big old seaman down to core.
Okay. That may sound like you're fighting also for gay rights too. So I mean, I have to ask you, what is your affiliation, if you have any, with the LGBTQ2A plus 7 to the third power?
I want to read a statement that was prepared for me by my legal representation. I wish to seek no smoke with the LGBTQ RTUSB community. I am a strong supporter and ally of the LGBTQRT community.
That was good to know.
Though I do not know how to say all of the letters in concession when representing the LGBTQST community, this is not sarcasm or any type of shtick to make fun of them. Do not sue me. I don't know what being canceled means anymore. Don't take away my livelihood in any way, shape, or form and make me look like I am the devil in the eyes of the media.
All right. Well, is there any parting remarks you would like to make before we end this interview?
You know, there's been something that's been very heavy on my mind. Ever since that day, I've got so many people reaching out to me saying that you did something amazing, that you should not only become the next world hero, you should become the next, you should challenge Michael Phelps for all 8 medals. And though I believe that, I want to remain humble, I want to remain solid, I want to remain a pillar within my community. And though I inhabit 2 communities, I want to say, and I also want to say,
take your time, bro. Take all the time you need.
Yeah? Damn. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh.
It's a great movie. Great TV film.
Very well said. Very well said. Well, I'd like to thank you, man, for coming, taking time out of your busy day and your busy life, for doing the interview with us at the Hostile interview today, man.
I work by a dock. My day was not that busy.
We appreciate it, man. Anytime, man. Do you have any social media chats we can hit you up at?
Oh yeah, you can find me on you can find me on Twitter at YoungFlowSiden. You can find me on IG at Big Drip Make Them Things Grip. You can find me on DeviantArt. I don't. Is this family? Can I?
You can curse. It's curse in the other language.
Just type in wet on DeviantArt and find me that way. Also, if you're bringing smoke to my people and it's by the sea, you can find me that way. Telecom, we're coming for you. All right, bring that smoke.
All right, you guys heard it here.
I'm bringing the water.
Thanks
bringing the wave.
Thanks for coming on the interview, man. Have a good day, man.
I'm done.
Sweet.
Aqua.
All right, that was Aqua Nigga. We got him.
Very
in contact.
innovative, very colorful. He's a true American hero. That's all I can say about him.
That I can agree with. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna go to the deepest thought for today. Take your time, let your mind process what you're about to see.
It better not be that crazy.
What was happening? She couldn't start the car?
Yeah, and his girl was back on the way to the house.
And see, that's your dumbass mistake. You should have sprung for a hotel room, or did it at her place.
Well, see, that's the guy that wanted to pay for a light bill, so he couldn't get that hotel. See, he got to keep his finances.
So you also fucking with a broke woman because she ain't got a place. Like, stop it.
That's the woman that's settling. See, that's the woman that settles. She don't.
If you with a person that sucks and they cheating on you, they also have to have found someone that sucks. And they both settling for it's just a big circle of settling and sucking, and not in the best way.
Damn.
Wow.
S and this instead of S and M. All right. You know what? Here we go. Here we go.
That was good music on that interview too.
Yeah. Doing his little water dance.
I'm done with y'all.
Big bright shiny stuff.
Yeah, the interview music was good too. It had its own little, was a little slower, but
I'm saying that intimate,
it was a little slower, but had its own little.
I tell y'all, Ray showed up with all the professional equipment. I really thought we was on some Vlad shit. Like he really.
Wow.
This man pulled out a flash. This man pulled out 2 different cameras with 2 different batteries, 2 different plugs.
Wow.
And the mics and all that.
He had the little lapel mic. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah. I spent a little money, you know. I get but I spent some money on the equipment.
I can tell.
Wow.
I appreciate the help with that, man, with that video. We gotta do more coming soon. All right, appreciate everybody for coming on Hostile Therapy with Big Red Thursdays. With me, Big Red, Preezy, LT, Mr. Lord Trent, and Sparky T, and everyone else who tuned in tonight. Thanks for getting some Hostile Therapy. Not because
Dr. Lamar was here for a little bit.
I don't know what Dr. Lamar be, you know, I don't know. She be eating some bad bits.
In and out.
Dr. Lamar on another podcast right now, probably.
She like our ad lib.
Yeah, that's basically what she didn't even get to see the porno music. She didn't even get to see it.
Yeah.
Tell us about the time she was dating somebody that was in a porno.
Yeah, right?
Maybe that's what she went to go make a porno.
She was dating someone that was in a porno, but he only got paid enough to pay the light bill.
Damn.
Well, her light bill was $1,000 shit.
And he let her son drown.
Yeah. Maybe she went to go get the money for that light bill from whoever she with. She said she'd be right back.
That's a lot of light bill.
I'm looking at the chat. She said, I'll be right back. And
Oh my God.
I don't know where she went, but you know, kudos to her. Hope she's safe, she good. But yeah, thanks for y'all for coming out, getting some Hostile Therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. And we'll be back next week with some more shenanigans and some more topics to talk about. Peace.
Bow chicka bow bow.
Good shit.